In this video, I'm going to show you how to replace the lower trim piece on this front bumper of this Nissan Pathfinder. Let's get started. Let's start by removing all the push clips that hold this piece on. If you just use a trim tool, you should be able to pop out the center, and then the entire push clip will come out, go along the whole perimeter, and get all of these removed. Of course, you want to set them aside safely so that you can reinstall all of them when the time comes. Pull this up and off. At this point, you'll notice the top of the grill for us is loose. Yours may not be this way because it should have a retaining clip here and one here. It's a little bit further down. You won't see it unless you look down there with a flashlight. Ours are broken, both of them, so someone's definitely been in here before, but you should be able to just pull on it quickly and it should snap out of its retainers. They're actually, the two clips are hooked into the headlight assemblies, but for us, this is already loose, so let's move along. Now on the side of the bumper cover where it meets the fender liner, you have several T20 Torx screws. Let's remove all three of these. This will release the fender liner off of the bumper cover, and this will make it so that we can peel it away. This will expose the 10mm screw that sits right up here, so take this out. There we go. Now let's do the same to the other side. Underneath you have more T20 fasteners, 1, 2, 3, and then a couple push clips. Remove all of them. Push clip right here. A lot of times these get stuck from sand buildup since they're underneath, so just be careful. If you break it, make sure you replace it and just go along and remove the rest of the push clips, which in our case are actually missing. So this is all disconnected already, but you should have multiple. And then of course the same 3 fasteners on the other side of the vehicle. At this point, if you have fog lights, go ahead and unplug the wiring. This vehicle does not have that, but if it did, you would just reach down here and get to the wire clip and unplug. Now we can pull the bumper cover away by just unclipping it along where it meets the fender. Continue following the line, the curve of the bumper cover, and pull this piece out. There we go. It's gonna sound a little scary, but I promise it's not breaking, it's just unclipping. And now we have 2 last push clips to undo. Last few pieces here behind the grill, you'll see some push clips. You're gonna have to get these off of here because this actually holds the bumper cover in place on these brackets. In my case, these are super stuck, so they'll have to be pried out. Hopefully they don't break. There's one, and then there are 2 more in the center and another one on the other side. There we go. Break that off there. All right, this is gonna have to get replaced, but at least it's out. Disconnect these 2 retainers for this wiring harness. Just pop them out of here. On the back side, they have a couple tabs that you can squeeze, or you could just twist that with a trim tool. It should pop out. There's another one right over here. All right, now pull the bumper cover away. To take this larger bumper trim piece off, on the bottom you have 3 10mm mounting nuts. We'll have to remove all 3, and then a few clips. Now you're going to want to push these plastic tabs through, pull down on the trim piece from underneath. There's a little metal tab here. I'm going to squeeze in on this just so I can remove the trim piece. If you can't squeeze in on it, try to pry it out. There we go. All right, I guess once you get that one out from underneath, you'll see this wants to come off, And there it is. Take the new one, line it up, and push it through. It should want to clip in. There we go. I can hear it clicking. That means it's locking in. Of course, we're going to put the mounting nuts back on, but it's important to clip it into these retainers so that it can stay mounted nice and flush everywhere. Now, get these nuts back on. And snug them up. Now let's get the bumper cover reattached. Pay attention to your fenders and your headlights so that you don't scratch anything. This white piece here, the bracket, needs to go nice and flush with the bumper, so under the headlight it needs to line up all throughout the other side here. That looks good. So at this point I'm going to tap it into place. I'll make sure this lines up. Okay. I know this might seem a little rough, but that's how you get these to clip in. Do the same to the other side. Now let's get the screw in that secures the bumper right on the corner here. Snug that up. Now we can tuck the fender liner back in. Make sure that the ears that have the holes in them stay on the outside. That's where the screws go through, but these tabs have to go on the inside. That's how it secures. And now we can put the 3 T20 screws back in. Snug these up. Don't make them too tight. They're just going into plastic, and if you strip the plastic out, well, it's not going to get tight anymore. All right, let's go underneath. Let's put the push clips in, whatever you have for push clips, and then the T20 screws. Snug these up over here. And then do this same thing to the other side. Now behind the grill, let's put the push clips back. That'll lock the bumper cover in. Slide that through, and then lock it in by sliding the center in. This one's not going to be very easy to do just because it's extremely limited on space here. Once you get it, press it all the way down. Do the same to the other ones. There are 2 in the middle and then 1 just like that one on the other side. Get these through, and the centers. Oh, there we go. There we go. Get that in. There's a wiring harness here that we have to hook back on. You got 1 retainer over here and 1 over here. Perfect. If you still have the 2 retainers here and here, mine are broken, but clip those in. And now we can put this cover on, make sure everything lines up, and let's get all the push clips reinstalled.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.